everyone, welcome back to MCHF Talks, the show where we dive into big issues that matter. I'm your host, Gabriella, and joining me in today's segment, In Her Mind, are three young women. Let's give them a warm welcome.
Hi, I'm Aurora. I represent the school in the Senior Girls OSTAG team, and we just recently made it to the grand finals. I have a huge competitive spirit and a passion for studying health science.
Hey, I'm Josie. I really enjoy music as well as having a passion for sports and teamwork environments.
Hey, I'm Chloe, a Year 11 student and one of the many wonderful leaders of MCHF. I am on the mock trial team with a passion for law and social justice.
It is great to have you all here. I'm so excited to hear about your experiences and challenges as young women. So let's get right into it. Aurora, what has been the most challenging part of adolescence for you so far?
The most challenging part of adolescence for me has been trying to live up to all perfect standards society pushes on us. Whether looking a certain way, having the right social status, or trying to fit in, it feels like there's always something new I'm supposed to be. It's hard not to get caught up with pressure of comparing myself to everyone on social media. Like, everyone's life seems so flawless, and here I am just trying to figure out who I am. Sometimes I wonder if I'll ever feel like I'm enough, or I'll always feel like I have to change to fit in for what people expect from me.
I absolutely agree with you, Aurora. Personally, the most challenging part for me was the pressure for me to excel in everything at school. It was constant. It came from my peers, teachers, and my family. And as a young woman, I felt like I had to prove myself twice as much. And it was not just academically, but in how I carried myself or how I looked and how I spoke, how I balanced being smart without being too much. It was exhausting trying to meet everyone's expectations, all while trying to maintain my hobbies, doing my assessments and homework, and managing my extracurriculars. It gets really draining.
I 100% agree with the both of you. I'd say for me, the most challenging part so far has been trying to fit in and find a friend group where I truly feel like I belong. It feels like everyone already has their people, their little group, and like they just get each other, and I'm still kind of floating around trying to figure out where I fit in. Sometimes I try to change little things about myself to match whoever I'm around, like how I talk or what I say, like just so I don't feel left out, but then I end up feeling even more alone because I know I'm not being my true self. It's truly exhausting to try to keep up with what everyone else wants just so I won't seem weird or different.
You guys could not have said it better. I definitely resonate with all the points you've mentioned, and I'm sure many other girls do as well. I think now we should unpack how this affects our self-esteem and mental health.
Self-esteem and mental health during this stage can be so up and down. 1 minute you feel confident, and the next you're questioning everything about yourself just because of one comment, one photo, or one moment that didn't go how you wanted. It's exhausting. With all the pressure to look Instagram perfect and always seem happy or successful, it's easy to start feeling like you're falling behind or not good enough. That kind of pressure takes a toll on your mental health. Sometimes it's hard to even talk about how you feel because you don't want to seem dramatic or too emotional. I think a lot of us are struggling silently, pretending like we're okay when we're really not. I wish people talked more openly about anxiety, self-doubt, or burnout at our age, because we're dealing with way more than people realise.
Yeah, see, Aurora, I've seen this through my own experience of being a peer mentor, and during our sessions, I witnessed firsthand the thoughts and struggles young girls are facing. Some of them opened up about feeling like they don't belong or the pressure to act a certain way just to fit into society's expectations. It's deeply concerning that girls as young as those in Year 7 are already caring about these burdens. That's why it's so important to create a space for these conversations, to surface these feelings, to truly listen and to remind young women that they deserve to be seen, heard and valued. We must continue to uphold high expectations for ourselves and encourage young women to draw strength from their personal and family values rather than feeling shaped or limited by social pressure.
Now, I know many girls struggle with self-esteem issues. As Josie, you've mentioned that you've heard it through first-hand experience during your peer support sessions. I definitely have myself, and I'm not ashamed of saying that. When dealing with these issues, what are some misconceptions about being a teenage girl that you have come across?
Some people think being a teenage girl means that we're overly emotional or that our feelings aren't valid just because we express them more openly. When a teenage girl speaks about how she feels, she's often labeled as dramatic or sensitive. And it's extremely frustrating because our emotions aren't a weakness. They're a sign of empathy and self-awareness. We're going through a lot during these years. Pressure, identity, relationships, and expressing our emotions is a part of growing up and understanding the world. It does not make us less rational or capable, it makes us human.
I agree with Chloe. People also believe that we only care about looks or boys. Please. We care about school, our futures, mental health, friendships, passions, and so much more. Just because we post a cute selfie doesn't mean we don't have depth.
Wow, I've heard that through so many conversations, and it's so tiring because apparently young women lack drive for anything beyond those images that society expects of them. But really, we are so much more than that.
It's actually so interesting to see how all these misconceptions that you girls have brought to our attention shape the way that we see ourselves, other girls see themselves growing up. Now, if you were to look back and speak to your younger self or any other teenage girl going through similar things, is there something that you would like to tell them?
If I could give advice to my younger self or any teenage girl, I'd say don't waste your time trying to be who everyone else wants you to be. You're allowed to take up space, to feel deeply and grow at your own pace. Social media isn't real life, and your worth isn't measured by likes, looks or popularity. Be kind to yourself, protect your peace, and remember, you're already enough just as you are.
Wow, I totally agree with you, Aurora. If I could talk to my younger self or any teenage girl, I'd tell her the truth. The future is tough. Things won't always go how you expect, and there will be moments that feel heavier than you think you can handle. But you'll handle them. You'll question yourself, make mistakes, and maybe even feel like giving up sometimes, but you'll get through it. You're stronger than you know, even when it doesn't feel like it. You don't need to have everything figured out. Just take one step at a time.
I agree. If I could tell my younger self or any teenage girl, I'd tell her this. You don't need to have it all together. It's okay to be unsure, to change your mind, and to not know who exactly you are yet. You're not behind, you're just becoming. Don't rush to grow up just to feel accepted. The right people will love the real, unfiltered version of you, not the version of you that you think you have to be. Trust yourself even when your voice shakes. You're building something beautiful. Even when you can't see it yet, keep going, you're doing better than you think.
Now, let's bring this advice to life beyond the room. Share an experience where we've needed someone to tell us this advice and reassure us that we are worth more than what society sees women as.
Well, this is a very sensitive topic for me, especially one in which I personally struggled with and experienced my whole life. Growing up, I felt pressures of trying to keep up with images of myself and those around me. I felt as though I had to conform to my peers and try my best to fit in with what I believed was the ideal image of what a young woman should look like or how we should act. If I am honest, I felt as though physically I did not fit into the standards of beauty which I perceived to be around me or in the online world. It clearly impacted me more than I realised, to a point where at times I constantly felt as though I should change the way I looked, how I act, the clothes I wore, the way I styled my hair, the makeup I packed on, and even the way in which I would take photos of myself. The idea is I would struggle to be okay with who I am, and I am certain other girls would be feeling like this too.
Wow, I didn't know you were going through that. For me, last year was rough. I constantly compared myself to certain girls, always thinking they were prettier, more confident, more liked, and it messed with my head way more than I expected it. At first, I thought it would be to motivate me to improve, but instead, it slowly destroyed how I saw myself. I kept chasing this version of who I thought I needed to be, and in doing that, I lost touch with who I actually was. It got so bad that I didn't want to go to school, I fell behind in everything, and I felt completely drained, like I wasn't enough no matter what I did. It's hard to admit, but I reached a point where I didn't recognize myself. I'm still healing from it today, but I've only started to realize that comparing yourself to others only steals your happiness. Everyone's dealing with something, and the best thing I can do is to focus on who I want to be, not who I think I should be.
I'm so sorry you felt like that, Josie. It's so relatable. Honestly, for me, the way I looked also impacted me. Like, for example, your eyes might feel too small, uneven, or just tired some days. You compare them to those perfect wide eyes you see online, and it makes them feel like they're just not enough. Another thing, your hair can be a mess. One day it's good, the next day it's flat, frizzy, or just doing its own thing. You might look at other girls and think your hair doesn't compare to theirs. And don't even get me started on the body. It's always changing, but it never feels like exactly what you want. Whether you feel too big or too small, it never seems to match the picture you have in your head. Body image is rough. You might wish your worth wasn't something other than the way you look in the mirror, but that's just the way it is these days.
Wow, those experiences definitely hit hard and all have a lesson behind it. But sadly, that's all we have time for today. Make sure you stay tuned for part 2, where we'll be diving into the strategies which have been prepared in consultation with our school counsellor, Mrs. Tanus. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.